Anyone who thinks there are no growth property markets around Australia at the moment hasn't visited Victoria anytime recently. Right now, the strongest single property market jurisdiction anywhere in Australia is regional Victoria, particularly locations within an hour or so of the capital city, Melbourne. Right now, there are very, very strongly rising markets scattered to the north of Melbourne and also to the east. Places where prices have been rising strongly over the past 12 to 18 months and are still rising, and also locations where sales activity is rising and those markets are showing promise of following those other markets into periods of very strong price growth. And when I say strong price growth, I'm talking about locations that have grown in terms of their median prices over 12 months, 20%, 25%, as much as 30%. Now, in the last couple of years, regional Victoria's growth has been led by the city of Greater Geelong, well connected to Melbourne, but more affordable, really strong economy in its own right. And we've seen some of the suburbs of the city of Greater Geelong recording median price growth over 12 months of up to 30%, particularly the more affordable suburbs, which are closest to central Melbourne. Other places that have shown very high levels of growth, 20, 25%, even higher, include the towns of Cardinia Shire, like Pakenham and Officer, and further out to the towns of the Baw Baw local government area, including Warragul and Druin. And up in the north, some of the towns of Mitchell Shire and Macedon Ranges local government area, a little bit north of the Melbourne metropolitan area. So now we're seeing new growth areas starting to emerge, places that are going to take over as the price growth areas over the next 12 months, I believe. And these are led by, firstly, Ballarat, which we've been talking about for the last 12 or 18 months as a rising market, very strong regional city in its own right, well connected to Melbourne. And more recently, Bendigo, not too far away from Ballarat, similar city in many ways, similar size, similar in terms of having a diverse and strong economy and good connections to Melbourne. Those two places are showing promise of very good price growth because we've seen a big uplift in sales activity there. Now, the common characteristic is they both getting a lot of buyers out of Melbourne, both investors and home buyers. Home buyers looking for perhaps a more relaxed lifestyle, certainly more affordable real estate with prices a fraction of those in Melbourne. And the prospect of either living in a city like Ballarat or Bendigo and commuting to jobs somewhere in the Melbourne metropolitan area, remembering that not everyone works in the CBD, but also investors out of Melbourne are looking for more affordable prices and much better rental yields than you can now get in Melbourne. So those two markets are rising strongly, and we still have places like Baw Baw Shire coming strongly, and the growth has rippled out further east. Now we're finding that the very, very affordable towns in the Latrobe City local government area, places like Traralgon and Morwell, have strongly rising demand because new jobs are being created out there as governments spend money to try and counteract the adverse impacts of the closure of major power stations there. And economically, that area has fought back very successfully and strongly. It's actually thriving as an economy. Jobs are being created, new population is coming in, and we're seeing prices starting to grow in some of those towns which currently have median prices below 200,000, so very affordable buying. And then at the border with New South Wales, Albury-Wodonga continues to be a very, very strong and prosperous economy, regional city, and a very affordable property market. So good prospects right throughout regional Victoria. Strongly recommend that you have a look at our new version of the top 5 regional Victorian hotspots report. It's one that contains locations that are currently providing the strongest growth markets in Australia. That's it for now. Talk to you again soon.